Warning, 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 warning. This is a Lunacy Podcast. Code Red, here we are. Pick up your iPads, your cell phones, and have me and listen to Uncle the Podcast. Watch out. If you're sitting down for this, or if you're standing up, you better get ready for this, because it's going to hit the eardrums. Uncle the Podcast.
You are listening to Uncle the Broadcast. My name is Aaron. I'm the nephew-in-law. Here with me is the star of the show, Uncle.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. 356 we got tonight. And I've heard that we have had these crazy things in the sky.
You heard about that, huh?
But the chicken two ain't been on call. I got them on call if they ever show up.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get them going. Get that phones ringing. Let's go.
Phones, yes. Well, okay, so this is Uncle the Podcast. We're live on Friday, as always, from the facilities of Ocelli.com. And you know on Fridays we take live calls. So you can call in. You can call in and join us. The number is 319-527-5016. You can also use Skype. If you use Skype, you type a message to Chuck. He will call you. He is Charles.Ocelli on Skype. So contact him on Skype. He'll bring you on. Or call 319-527-5016. We'd love to have you. Uncle, we're live. I'm going to actually myself go on to the Uncle the Podcast X account, which is at Uncle Podcast. I'm going to repost this live stream, which is going out under my Franz Simulation X account. So I'm going to repost it now. If you out there are able to do the same, repost the X live broadcast, we would greatly appreciate it. So that does help the show. We're also live, not just on Ocelli.com, but on YouTube, on Twitch, on Rumble now, on Kick, and on X. So most of those accounts are at Uncle Podcast if you want to watch those videos. So thank you for being here, everybody. Uncle, how you feeling?
My arm's not feeling that well yet.
Your arm is kind of sore, huh? Well, we're going to have to power through it here, Uncle. We're going to see what we get. This is the first show that we've done since the revolution.
Yeah. We had off for one night because it was a long revolution show, and I figured give Chuck a chance to recuperate until you wanted to come back on, but not. So what I do is usually I do that show, then take off a week, take off a Friday, and then start the following Friday on that because it's been a long one.
You're talking about on the heels of the revolution.
That's right.
Yeah.
Heels of the revolution.
Yeah, it's working out. Yeah, it was nice to take that time off. And in the time I used that to edit the Goat Mountain video, I've been mentioning that on my show before this, that I made a video about the hike up Goat Mountain. That was fun. We should do more videos this year, Uncle. We should make more videos and post them to the YouTube channel.
Boy, we get all these. If we get these orbs, I just love to have an orb talk down to me. Come down and say, hello there. Go to broadcast or something. Start to say something to me.
Well, yeah, I mean, we may as well talk about the orbs. I talked about them.
I want to.
I talked about them on my show a little bit in a previous hour, but let's talk about it again. We've been seeing them all week. You've been seeing them?
I've been seeing them. I've been watching them go by. She's saying, that's an orb. Ah, that's an orb. Oh, that's an orb going by. And they were orbs. I'm telling you, there are orbs out there. But the strangest part of it is, I see one, and it goes down and it hits in the clouds, and then comes back out. I said, no, that's an orb. Yeah, I've seen it that way. How they come in and out.
Yeah, there's different ones. It's crazy. We've been seeing these things all week. All it takes is for us to go out in our backyard and we see them flying around. There's the orb form of these UAP, and there's the drone form of these UAP.
It would be nice. I'm looking at my film thing here. If I had seen one right here.
Oh, wait.
What are you doing?
Okay, hold on.
This guy.
Yeah, that guy.
And see an orb go through. You'll be all shocked to see an orb right in there.
Yeah. So did we reference our new setup? We should reference. I think it was before.
I'm trying to check these orbs out.
Yeah, I know.
Well, the orbs here.
Before we went on air, we were mentioning, and we haven't mentioned on air, so I will. We changed our podcast setup here, so the room is a little changed. We made some improvements. We have a new monitor we're using.
I like this high chair.
Yeah, right?
You can have the small chair.
I'm lower than you are. It used to be the other way around, but this is good. And you now have access, Uncle, to the screen that I have. You used to not be able to see any of this stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You see on the monitor things that it used to be confined over here to my laptop screen, and you couldn't really see it. But do you like being able to see the screen? Does that you find that helpful?
That is helpful. Because when I want to talk, I want to see something.
Yeah.
See, and on my show, I'd want to see it. Then just sit there, just talking about it is not seeing it. You see my point?
I think I do.
Oh, by the way, people, guess where I found out where the sword shop is? I was at the sword shop, and I went to this guy, and I said, do you remember me? The guy said, no. Must have been a new guy.
You went
in the sword shop.
So you went to Pure Blades. My son told me this. So apparently, you and my son both went to Pure Blades at the mall the other day. It was just you two.
Yeah.
And you went up to the counter and asked the person working there if they remembered who you were, right?
Correct.
And they didn't. They're like, I'm not sure. And you're like, I'm Uncle the Podcast. And like, you must not be the guy. He's not here now. But, oh, yeah, I'm Uncle. And you don't know. But my son was telling me the story.
Yeah.
So that person, clearly not the owner, because they would have remembered.
Definitely wouldn't have been. But...
That happened at Pure Blades this past week.
Yeah.
That's another thing. We might go to some more local businesses. I was sharing some of those ideas with you. We can make videos out of that, maybe.
We're going to see
maybe
about something like he was mentioning when I take my stuff in, and then we'll go and look at and see and might make a video out, if possible, if we see the owner. But I have to listen. We have to find the owner before we do these things.
Yes, we do. And I see the chat is looking lively. Let's see here. I'm trying to tell who's in it. I'm kind of, with this new setup, I'm trying to be able to find everything. I can't as quick. Okay, this should help me find it. It looks like we've got Ruckus there. We've got Ruckus in a couple different forms. Hello, Ruckus. This is better for me here. Oh, he's over on Twitch. He was on X. Now he's on Twitch. Okay, hello. Glad to have you there. So yeah, that's the live stream video. It looks like we're doing okay. The X views do start climbing pretty quick. So thank you everybody who's joined us on X. Please do consider reposting. So here we are. We're talking about all sorts of different stuff. We're talking about the sword shop, as we tend to do. We're talking about UAP, which we've been seeing all week.
All week it was out there. And I had to stop to eat to go out and see one.
Yeah.
It was right out in the backyard here.
Yeah.
We sit out in the back. We sit in the house. Somebody says, there's no one. Oh, and out the door looking at these things.
Indeed.
It's crazy watching these things.
It is. And you can't help but watch them because I mentioned this on the previous hour too. I've never seen anything like this ever in my entire life. And then this past week, they're just there every night. Just a normal thing now.
It is. Wonder what's going to happen next. We're trying to find out what happens next.
It has me thinking the same thing. Yeah, I wonder. It was like, if this is just what happens now, what else happens?
We have these fires.
Yes.
They eliminated some planes that go flying. One night, there was nothing in the skies until we saw a few abs. Abs kept coming up and down, up and down. Couldn't miss them.
Wait.
But but then they hit into the clouds. Some of them go right into the clouds.
We're talking about the UAP again, Uncle?
Yeah, the abs.
The abs. Oh, the orbs.
Yeah, the orbs.
Yeah.
The orbs.
The orbs, yes.
And I'm seeing this one, and it shot right back in. I said, "Whoa, look at that!" Comes out. That's an orb. I mean, it has to be an orb coming in and out of the clouds. But I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, it's odd. It's hard to say. There's different forms of them. There's the orb form and there's the drone form. And even with the drones, they take different shapes a little too. They do different lights. The lights are different patterns at different times.
Right.
But the orbs are just balls of light, usually orange. Usually they show up as kind of like this dull orange color.
Orange to red. A little.
Yeah, it's kind of like an orangish red. Yeah, and
orangish red, something like.
It gets bigger, it gets smaller.
Right,
so it gets like bright, a little brighter, and a little bigger. Then it gets smaller, a lot smaller. And then sometimes they'll change color to white light instead of orange.
I've seen Star Wars and all these other movies, and we saw these guys going on spaceships coming down land. Boy, I wish one of them like that laying down here like that. But of course, they don't.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, no, they haven't landed, but they keep flying overhead. Sometimes pretty low, actually.
Something is up with them, I gotta say.
We're getting a call. What do you know?
Hello there. Hold on in. Let's see who he's talking to.
Oh, hello, Uncle. It's Jimmy James calling. How you doing?
Hi there, Jimmy. We're talking about the orbs again. Wow.
Yeah,
boys.
I was here.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I
was
boys.
just go with the order. I could tell you were about to get into football, so I was going to say, what about the Rams and the Vikings? They're going to have to play in Glendale, eh?
Yeah.
Well,
I know, that's another problem.
Yeah, they're playing in Arizona, right?
They're
crazy.
playing in Arizona because of the smoke of the fires, and it's a shame because the fans wanted to go there, but can't know that they're going to have a problem with the smoke, so they have to go to the other place. No.
Yeah, they got to go to Arizona. So the Rams did have home field advantage. They're going to play in SoFi. Now that was stripped away from them.
But they still have it.
In Arizona?
Well, that's their home. I mean, they're not their home, but they still got home field advantage.
No. It's not like they're playing in SoFi Stadium. I'm sorry, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. I don't think so. I think playing in Arizona, a home of their divisional rival, is not the same. The Cardinals is not the same thing as playing in their own stadium here in Los Angeles. I guess they can't do now because of the fires, but that was a distinct advantage. One of the few advantages the Rams really did have over the Vikings, taken away. So that's significant. It's not good for them.
No.
So we'll see what happens.
I don't know. I don't know.
What do you think of that, Jimmy?
What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely would have been better for the Rams if they could have played it in L.A.
Yeah, absolutely.
Too bad that didn't work out. Yeah, those Vikings, they're a little scary. I mean, the Lions. Hey, Uncle, you were going to say something about the Lions. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Well, they got where they wanted to be, up on the top, waiting to sit back and watch. That's where they wanted to be. Your boys.
Yeah.
Jimmy?
Yeah, it's nice. We get a bye week, and we won the pennant again. Whoopee!
Yeah. Well, now all you have to do is win the big prize. You know what? But you know what my prediction is going to be? I would love to see this prediction. Your team against their champs. To see
Kansas City?
Wait a minute, let me finish. To see you boys rip them apart. It's possible.
I think it's a distinct possibility. I think we're going to end up having to play either them or the Bills.
Oh, the Bills now. The Bills will have to go, I think, to, was it Kansas City because they're second seed?
They would play Kansas City if they win their game against the Broncos this week.
Oh. Well,
and they
hold
play
on
Kansas
a minute,
City, I believe.
Them Broncos. Did you see how they play? For just a moment?
The Broncos are pretty pathetic. That won't even be much of an issue. I'm just saying it looks pretty much. I mean, the Lions are going to the Super Bowl at this point. I'm just wondering who we're going to play. Is it going to be Chiefs or the Bills?
Yeah, it's one of the two. And though if the Bills win, they'll go to New Orleans. I wonder who would be the.
Oh, that's where they're.
Field.
The New Orleans is where they're having.
You know who the home field,
right.
the home team would be?
That's stupid.
You know who the home team would be?
The Saints. The Saints would be though. Yeah, just like that's just like the Rams game
team
coming up.
Would be the home team because reason behind I say that because the NFC field. That's why I say
true.
that. The NFC field. Because last year, for example, was their division, and they won it on their turf.
Is that how it works? That's how it works, huh?
That's how it works. Yes, that's how it works.
Maybe.
I'm starting to realize that's how it works.
Maybe. It could.
Yeah, that's how it works, I believe.
I did not think of it that way.
I did.
I see that.
NFC, AFC, and NFC. Depending on what division, what teams we're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, coming back again, let's say next year, I don't know where it's going to be. But if that's the NFC, AFC, depending on what happens, I don't know. You see? They have those kind of ways.
Is that how it works, Jimmy?
Hey, Uncle, do the
What?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to ask Uncle if the Rams, by any chance, is that where they do their winter training? Is in Arizona?
I think they do.
Oh, is that where they do it?
That's where. Yes, I do.
Do they?
So,
okay.
Give or take, we know they're not home.
Yeah.
We understand that where they're not home.
Yeah.
But they do what you just mentioned there.
They do their training.
They do their training there.
Okay.
So I don't know. I gotta shake about this game. I want my Rams to win. But I'm not so sure like you saying about those Minnesota Vikings. I'm up in the air with the finding of this whole thing.
I would have liked to see a Super Bowl in Carlisle, Pennsylvania one year because that's where the at the time Washington Redskins used to train in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, which is right where I grew up, right around there, a small town in Pennsylvania. They would come there for their training. That was a big to-do in town when the Redskins were in town.
That's true. That is where they do.
They should have had a Super Bowl there in Carlisle. I don't know how they would have pulled it off, but
I don't know how
could have made it happen somehow.
It's no. Sidekick, it's money involvement.
Is there?
Big town like New Orleans, or someone bigger than that.
Big town, big money.
Big, right. And that causes them where they go.
Okay.
Miami, they have a big town. They go there. They go to, where would that be the next one?
Where's the Super Bowl next year, we're wondering?
What it would be.
I'm not sure where it's going to be.
I do not know.
Time will tell.
Don't know.
But, okay, you almost convinced me that the Rams are playing at home, but not really.
Whoa.
But we'll see. We'll see how they do with the Vikings. I'm hoping for the best. But
that is my question.
We'll see.
I'm sort of shaken about it because who they're going to play. Well, we know we can do pretty good with your team, even though but you won it. So, but if you would have lost it, we know we would have had I'd say a shot. But in this standpoint of where it is now, having to say, now they're going to play Minnesota, I go iffy on it. I'd go iffy. Yeah. That's my choice of saying.
Yeah, we'll see
what to say about it.
We'll see what happens. I mean, yeah, it's nobody's expecting the Rams. Nobody's expecting the Rams to go to the Super Bowl. So anything that they do is fine. Yeah, I'm surprised that I'm just happy they made it to the playoffs. That's better than I expected. And
yeah, they made it to the playoffs though.
It's a good sign of just how the team is doing overall. They've got things together, so I don't feel bad about it at all. So it's an interesting year. It's a crazy year. We're still at the beginning of 2025, Uncle. We barely made it here. Seems like the revolution just happened, but we're moving right along. We're in the month of January. Are you going to make it here?
I don't know.
Your arm is that bad? You have to get to the doctor, I think, on that one.
I've been saying I had to go see my doctor.
Something's wrong with that.
He's listening to me.
Yeah.
It might be some kind of thing happened to it's something that happened on my leg. Could be the same thing, I'm thinking. I don't know what it's called, though. An actor?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I do this exercise.
Yeah, but
it might help it.
Maybe we'll do. If we can, I'd like to do a live stream this weekend, Uncle, like a VHS watch party, or maybe we'll play a video game. Maybe playing a video game would be interesting to try to see if we could use the new monitor to play the game on. Could work out for us.
Monitor, hello, this.
Yeah, that new monitor might work well for us to play a video game. So maybe we can test that out. Maybe we can break Zelda back up. Break it open, or whatever we want to call it, to keep playing Zelda again or another game.
We haven't finished it, have we?
No, we're still on what
6.
Level 6, right? We have to go to level. Yeah. We found level 6. Now we have to beat level 6.
Right.
So that's what we're doing. I'm glad you remembered that. That was good.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Goodness.
Yes, but it's sore.
Well, the other thing, Uncle, that I also mentioned about do we want to keep talking about the orbs and the drones, or have we covered that?
I think we covered it.
We covered it. They're there. In short, they're
so
there.
If anybody wants to see them out there, let's say they are around.
Go out at night.
You
might see them.
And you might see them.
It's very likely.
Very likely, yeah.
And if anybody has seen them and would like to talk about it, please do call. Again, this is a call-in show, 319-527-5016. We want to hear what you've seen.
Yeah,
We're done telling you what we've seen. We want you to tell us about your sightings. Please.
Yeah.
That would be great. And, yes, please do consider reposting us on social media. The X. Uncle's got the X thing. My Front Simulation has the live stream going. The YouTube, the Twitch, the Kick, at Uncle Podcast, all those.
I just wish she was on it. Crack Room is going crack.
The Crack Room is cracking it up. That's over at
Who's over there?
That's the Ocelli chat. Let's see. Let's take a look. I'm
checking it.
Let me see, because I haven't looked at it myself. It looks like we have Chuck there, Random Death Metalers there, Phase Shifters there. The Sword Shop, Phase Shifters, excited to hear the news from the Sword Shop. Glad that you went in there. It's been a minute, but you're checking in as you should on the Sword Shop. And we're giving the listeners the latest in Pure Blades news. And hopefully we'll go to other places. And I would like to make more videos this year. I think if we make videos, that's a good key to success and just a fun time. I really enjoyed myself doing the Goat Mountain thing. It's just a lot of fun.
Okay. Sidekick,
Well,
for your sake, your New Year revolution is going to be just what you just said.
okay.
You can do what you want with them.
Okay.
So we'll see what we got coming up next week on his thinking show.
You know what my other revolution is, Uncle?
No.
Say yes to the guest.
Oh, yeah. Say yes to the guest. I've heard that one.
Yeah, you heard about that? Yeah, you came in to hear me talk about that when I was finishing the last show.
Say that last hour.
You like the sound of that one?
That sounds good.
Good policy, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Have I mentioned this to you, Uncle, that the trick that the guests and their booking agents use now is that they have these AI systems to find the shows that they should ask to be guests on? They tell you about that? That's what they're doing now.
Guests to have guests on?
So the guests, okay, so there are guests, prospective guests are what they are. These are people who, for whatever reason, different people can have different reasons for wanting to go on podcasts, but that's who this group of people I'm going to describe are. What they're doing is that they're using these AI applications to scour the internet and different podcast applications to find relevant podcasts to whatever it is their specialty is. Say they wrote a book about machines, government, and brains, the stuff I talk about on my show. If they do all the stuff that I talk about regularly on my show, the AI system knows what I talk about. It knows everything that's on my show because it has these transcripts of everything I say on the show. So the machine is able to scan through all of that, and then it tells the guests, "Hey, I found a show that is exactly what you are, what your specialty is. What you talk about already is what this guy talks about on his show. Why don't you go ask him to be a guest on his show?" That's what it's doing.
So these guests that you're talking about, then, are computer people, more or less.
Yes.
They're computer people.
They're computer
Simple
people,
that.
and they're using computers to find my show.
And that too.
Which is appropriate.
Yeah.
I think that's actually another appropriate thing, that the actual topic we would be talking about is what is being used to make this guest appearance happen. Maybe, if it all goes through. But they're definitely doing this, Uncle. I know it.
Well, that's probably where it's coming from, then.
Mm-hmm. So I've been getting a few requests. I'm getting my policy, Uncle, is just say yes to all of them. Say yes to the guest. That's it.
Just to say yes to the guest, and let them speak to you.
Yeah, that's exactly how it works. Because that's what I've been doing. I've been saying yes, and then the ball's in their court, and then I'm like, yes, and then I do often sit there waiting for a response from either the guest or, more often than not, it's a booking agent. It's somebody who's representing the guest who's using this AI system, who their job is to find these podcasts for this guest to go on. That's the whole job of this person who's usually contacting me.
You hear this, Jimmy?
Yes, I'm here.
What do you think about all this?
What do you think about that?
Well, that's usually what an agent's for. They usually take care of that stuff.
They are agents. Yeah, that's who these people are. They're definitely booking agents. There's no doubt.
Booking agents. Yeah.
That's who's talking to me mainly. It's rarely is it the actual guest that ends up emailing me. It's their agent who does it. Well, eight times out of 10 it is. Yeah.
Well, I'm very strange here. I know this is the way we're looking at each other here. I'm looking down at him. You're looking up at me.
Oh, you're still getting used to this new setup, right?
I'm still working on it.
You and me both. Yeah,
I'm still working on it. It's just that, hey, I never looked down before. He's looking up.
Does it seem more? Isn't it more appropriate that you, the star of the show, should be looking down at Sidekick? Doesn't that make sense?
It makes more sense that way than the other way around.
Yeah, I think it does.
I was going to mention about that.
Okay.
Could I have this desk and you have that desk? But she did it anyway.
Hey, that's how it worked
Yeah.
out.
Mrs. Sidekick changed it around anyway. So that made it the way I was going to say it.
Really,
you know what I meant.
Really came through for us. So we like it.
I love it.
Mr. Flash is in the chat. He says, "How are you going, guys?" Count Pupper says, "Great hiking video, Sidekick." Thank you, Pupper. I had a very fun time making that, so I'm glad you enjoyed that. So we got Flash, Pupper, and also Ruckus in the chat tonight, Uncle.
I'm still waiting for you-know-who to talk on the radio.
Mrs. Sidekick?
The guy that did our films.
Steve?
No, this guy.
Oh, Creative Accidents.
Crazy?
Yes.
I want to hear you on the phone. Come on, Crazy.
Come on, Crazy. Come on down to the Uncle Show. You know where it is. You know how to call in. That's for sure. It's just a matter of will he, when he.
I know
when and will. How? Well, the how.
Because remember that time we were trying to talk him into it?
Yeah. We do.
But
we definitely remember. Hey, this is the number, everybody. 319-527-5016. Open to anybody who wants to use it. Call right up. Tell us anything. Talk about anything. We love having you.
Yeah.
We love having you on the show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for reposting. Thank you for uncling. Thank you for being part of the street team.
Don't mind me. I'm just
Uncle
exercising my arm, and it's helping. It's helping in the exercising my arm.
What's up, Jimmy?
What's up, Jimmy? You can talk.
Well, I was just going to say, I was glad to hear Chris Graves call on the other show. Glad that he's mobile, speaking. Apparently, he's doing better than he was. Glad Chuck's doing better than he was.
Yeah.
People seem to be recouping. I wish Vance would call in. Haven't heard from him in an awful long time. Be nice to hear from Vance. Know that he's and Amir, any of them guys. Come on, call Uncle. Let us know you're amongst us.
I want to hear the drinking man too. I haven't heard him.
Bumwine Bob.
Quite a while yet. Bumwine Bob.
Bumwine Bob.
Bumwine Bob. Yeah.
He's supposed to call solution.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Yeah, he didn't make it, but we did drink Four Loko. So
we drank Four Loko for him.
That's the next best thing to talking to Bumwine Bob directly is drinking a Four Loko.
I think he's letting up, though.
Letting up? No. I'm in constant contact with Bob, and we'll have him back on the show as a guest sometime.
No, I meant not talking much on his show.
Bob?
Well, I haven't heard him lately.
And you're subscribed to him?
I am subscribing to him. I've been listening to him when I got a chance to. But that other show that I had.
I thought that he had been pretty active, actually, and he's pretty active with his YouTube channel, Bob is. He's been doing a lot with the Bumwine Bob or the Bumming with Bobcat YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's the one I was listening to.
He was doing that thing where I think he, at 1,000 subscribers, he was going to do the Edward 40 Hands show. I know that was a certain amount of YouTube subscribers. They're going to do that special where they do Edward 40 Hands, and then people can call in, and they're going to do all sorts of crazy stuff with that. So that's something to look forward to for him. So subscribe to the Bumwine Bob YouTube channel, not just the At Uncle Podcast one. Lots of channels to subscribe to, everybody. Press the buttons, okay?
Press those buttons to see them on the screen.
Very important. Very easy to do. You know how to do it. Press them all. We even have an Instagram. Wouldn't you know it? Isn't that crazy? Right. I don't always use that, but when I do.
What? What'd you say?
I was just going to say, Uncle, you'd like this new... next time I call, I'll be using 5G. We'll see if that works better. I bought one of them flippity phones. It's awesome.
Oh, you got a new phone on you. Ah.
Yeah, Pete was saying your phone sounds way better, Jimmy.
You do sound much better.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not using it right now.
Well, for some reason, your service is better.
Well, it's better now because I turned off the... Last time everything was cracking up, so I turned off the cell and turned on the Wi-Fi, and I'm just using that. That seems to work a little better.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever works, because no feedback or problems, any of that. Hey, Aaron, there is another call that you were sort of waiting on.
Oh, okay. Well, let's pipe that one right in.
So I'm going to put Jimmy on hold.
Let's have him, and let's see what's going on with this guy.
Okay, caller.
Caller, you're on air with the Uncle Show.
It's this guy.
Oh.
Who is this, Uncle?
All right. Okay, urban person. Urban person. The person we were just talking about.
Wait a minute. We just lost her.
To the Urbans.
We just lost her somehow. Where'd she go?
Oh, she cut out?
Yeah.
Come on, call. We want to talk.
She thinks she's online. Well, she'll call back.
All right. We'll put Jimmy back on.
What is going on with that one?
The urban person will call back.
The urban person might be coming on the air. Never know what's going to happen in this show.
I'll put Jimmy back on. I'll put Jimmy back on for now, and if it happens, I'll let you know.
Very good. Thank you, Chuck. Appreciate it. Urban person may be back. Jimmy, what's happening over there?
What's happening in Detroit? What's doing?
Well, just chillaxing. Been kind of monitoring this stuff. I was wondering if you guys were getting hit by that fire, because that's got to be awfully darn close to you.
It's up in L.A., yeah, and we're getting smoke from it.
Well, we're getting quite a bit of smoke, if anything. It's smoky.
But we're not in the bad region.
We're not in the battery zone.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah, not this time at least. So we're doing fine. We're doing okay here. But yeah, LA, not good. The fires are probably the worst ever for LA, I think.
I wonder how the stadium is blown.
Stadium, I think, is fine.
Oh, Canada right now? I don't think they're having major fires right now for some reason. I know that all my old stomping grounds in Ventura, they're just gone. I just looked down, all the pictures. Just gone, all gone. All my old watering holes, etc., all burned to hell.
Oh, here's a call.
There's the caller. Let's see who this is.
Let's go to this call.
All right, call. You're on the air. Who is this?
You're on, caller.
It's me.
Hello?
It's me, Orbit.
Oh, hey, Orbit woman.
Hello
there.
It's Orbit. It's me.
Okay, let's have a conversation now with some of these people that wants to talk about.
Yeah, what's happening
orbits.
here? What's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, so that call just dropped, so now we're out in the wild out front,
so
looking at some. Actually, right now, Marlo went and grabbed me the binoculars. And there's some action as we speak.
Okay, so you are out in front of our house now.
Yeah.
We're Side Woman Kick, just so that everybody knows this is Side Woman Kick. Yeah, out in front of our house. And you are seeing UAP activity at the moment? Is that it?
That's what you say.
I am. There's a plane overhead, you can hear that, and in front of it is a UAP. Pretty low.
Low?
Okay,
I mean, you can't see it. It's hard to explain, but it's a blinker.
Okay, so it's one of the drone style UAP, huh?
Yeah, we got the drone style. There's not. Did you explain some earlier tonight about it? How much you've seen?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, especially on my show, I was saying
how you're a believer now.
Well, I definitely am a believer in that. I'm seeing them. There's no doubt that they're there. They're the orbs. Okay. They're the drones. They're the orbs morph into the drones. I've seen this happen many times.
Mention how the previous nights when the planes were all grounded, how they were just everywhere.
I did, yeah, but that was last night and the night before. Is that right?
Yeah, the past 2 nights during all these fires, windstorms.
Yeah.
They had to drop
the
planes. Oh, go ahead.
Tonight, the air traffic is back, and there's more planes than ever and less drones, less orbs.
Yes.
The
regular planes are back.
You know what I think that do is when it's clear, this is how the orbs think. This is how they think.
When the sky's clear.
When they're cleared out And like you're saying, we saw them when the fires and they took the planes down, not let them fly.
Yeah.
They all come flying out.
Yeah.
The orbs.
Yeah.
They do. That's how they work.
Sure.
That's how they work. So
it was like they knew that everyone would be watching then. Something. Yeah. They were definitely seen.
But
yeah, well, I did mention this too, my love, that they don't want to hide. They want to be seen.
No. No. There's no hiding.
It's the opposite of hiding. Like they are out there in the plain sky for everybody to see. All you have to do is look up, and you notice them. So they're not.
Yeah, exactly. And whether you believe it's extraterrestrial or government, whatever, it's here and it wants to be seen.
Yeah.
Because he said you want it to be so they know it smells like they've been there for a while. So.
They've been here for a while. I think they've been here the whole time.
Is that what they're telling us that they've been here?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they want us to get used to them and kind of just relax and not be so afraid, and maybe later on there'll be some kind of disclosure. That's what my instinct is saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
But it seems like 2025 is going to be crazy. Already is.
I definitely mentioned that no matter what, things are weird now, and there's no way out of that.
There's going to be some sort. You cannot put this back in. There's some kind of disclosure coming, whether it's a cover-up or who knows. It's interesting. It'll be crazy to watch. Listen.
Is Tom DeLonge right?
I think he was since 1999. Aliens do exist.
Dark and scary, ordinary explanation?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I was listening to that yesterday, actually. I had to.
You had to.
I was like, I had to. Yeah, I was like,
Really quickly, I just want to know, I'm being asked if we're going to allow other callers to talk to Miss Sidekick.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you want to stay on the line, right?
Talk. You can stay on line?
Can you take more than one?
Yeah, I can take up to 100.
Take them.
No problem.
Yeah, I would like questions and open conversation.
Okay, right now,
conversation.
Right now, all we've got is Jimmy James on the line. But if anybody listening live wants to join in, 319-527-5016, and I'll get you right in. But I'll put Jimmy on with you, see if he wants to ask you any questions. Okay?
Good.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you're
I want to hear
again.
some New Jersey listeners.
Definitely. I hope some call in.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm not in Jersey, but in November I did see 2 of these things.
You did?
And I'm oh, yes. And this is before anyone was saying anything about them. So I didn't think anything of them, even though they were weird.
At the time.
I just saw it as the police. My question for you...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, what exactly did you see? What was...
Well, it was 2 saucer-shaped drones, I guess, because they were stationary. One was flying right above the other. One had a red light. And they were just hovering around the middle of town. And I was crossing the street. I seen them, and I just stared up at them for a few minutes to see if they were going to do something. But they didn't. They just kind of hovered there. And then I just drove home and didn't really think much about it because nobody was talking about this stuff in early November.
Right.
And then my question to you is just going to be some of these phones got that if you use that AI stuff that pointed at the sky, if it is an aircraft that's identifiable, they will tell you what it is.
Yes, I have.
Okay, I want to make sure
you can ask Sidekick. I have Flight Tracker on my phone. Anytime something is suspicious, I look right on it, and we can, cross-reference if it's a plane, if it's a helicopter right away. And yeah, so we can,
Well, especially all the people
Write
that
that
use
off.
Apple, right? Because Apple's got a real strong AI thing that
Yeah.
identifies like almost anything you pointed at. If you take a picture of something, you can identify it, right?
Yeah, these things don't show up in pictures, though. That's what's tough.
Oh,
Well,
So, like, since they come, yeah.
I have those videos. I got those videos of those drone ones. I have I'm getting a collection of those going. Actually, I published that initial one, but now I'm trying to collect them. I'll put an edit together of them when I know that these things happen to be gone. I think if they go away, I'll put an edit together.
That initial video of it right over the house that you have is probably one of the best ones I've seen, even on X and on Reddit. It's one of the better ones.
That's interesting. The one I got coming home from work last night is similar to that one because it was the same kind of drone thing. It had the same lights on it. It had that weird thing where above it are those small lights where it looks like there's small lights attached to the antennas on top of the bigger one.
Yeah.
I know that I captured that on video on this new one. So if I put the videos together, it's worth looking at. So.
Well, put it together and let's see what we can look at.
Well, the one is posted to your YouTube.
Yeah, that one.
Press the button, everybody. It's on Uncle's YouTube.
Yeah, it's on the YouTube.
Oh, yeah, it's on there. Look at it.
Look at it.
Check it out.
If you guys want to see something.
Now, do you see? Are you seeing anything right now up in the sky?
No, nothing right now. We're out front, Marlo and I, and nothing in the sky. It's quiet.
It's only planes and stars.
Yeah.
Only planes and stars.
Yeah, and Jimmy, I have the sky app too. So if we ever think something's twinkling and it's an orb, we check and make sure if it's a star or a planet.
Yeah. Yep.
And is there an actual dedicated one app for UFOs and UAPs? Like, just turn on your camera and point this thing, and we'll figure it out.
I bet it exists. I bet it exists, but it's probably hard to find. You know?
MUFON app.
Something that Apple will be like, nope.
You see, Apple might not carry it, though. That's the other weird thing. You know, Apple's very, very strict with their store lately.
Lately, yeah.
Yeah.
Like my app was removed.
I think it's strange because. Oh yeah.
Good. Sorry.
Oh,
you're talking about.
I was just gonna.
Yeah, there was the Ocelli.com radio app was removed from Apple Store.
Oh God.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I don't trust anything. I don't know. I just feel like this is all getting pushed under the rug. And don't look, everybody. It's not what you think it is, but it really is what you think it is.
Mm.
Because they know. There's no way they don't know what this, they're everywhere. They're all across the United States, all across the world, small towns, our small suburban town, city.
There's no way that they're not seeing them, first of all. There's no chance that the officials are not seeing these things. Like when we can just
They keep getting questioned,
Yeah, we're just standing there with our eyes and we see them. We just look up and, hey, there it is.
I'm going to have a good shout out to something tonight.
You got a good shout out coming up?
Something tonight.
Uncle's brewing up a shout out here.
I'm throwing out a shout out.
Yeah, that's going to be a good one.
It's got to be interesting.
I'm trying to think if there's anything that we should describe about our sightings here, Sidewoman Kick. What should we tell?
I wish that Frank, I could get a hold of him. Our good friend.
We have another call. Is this Frank? Did you tell Frank to call?
No, I didn't. I didn't tell him. Maybe next time.
Get him.
This is not Frank. This is Ed.
Hey, Ed.
Hey, Ed, this is here you go. There you go, Ed. You can talk to him.
Yeah, finally disclosure. I'm glad. Yeah, I just wonder, and there's no wrong answers on this show about anything, so don't, be intimidated. But who or what do you guess that they are?
I mean, I don't know if I'm swayed from things I follow on X now, but I truly think that they are extraterrestrial, but they are of a good federation and they've been here before man, and maybe even been part of our creation. I don't know, but I think they watch over us, and I think that they've always been watching and kind of like helping in certain situations that we're not aware of, and things are just getting crazy. And I don't know if it's kind of like they're like, no, this is enough. You guys hit your max. Or I've heard things about AI getting too close to being, more powerful than us, and it's like, no, that's not what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to a degree to me. Yeah, some kind of being, something. I think they could be spiritual, not actual.
Exactly.
Spaceships or with people, driving them or anything. But I don't know. Yeah. Of course, I haven't seen them.
No, I can see that too. I can see that too. Because the orbs seem spiritual, but then when they change into these drones, maybe that's just because that's what we're capable of seeing.
Yeah, orbs are interesting because people see orbs like in their bedrooms and stuff. So they're all the orb phenomena is pretty widespread in different situations and different places and things where they show up.
Yeah, I've heard theories it's like they're angels or
we kind of
something like that. Yeah,
we had spent the evening the other night looking at these orbs for an hour or two at least, and then when we were going to bed, we looked out the back window, and there's one super close. Do you want to tell that story?
No, go ahead. You can.
Yeah, that's basically it. We had spent all night when we were looking over at the ones in Corona, right? We'd been watching them through the binoculars forever.
Yeah,
they were changing back. They were morphing. They're doing their orb thing, changing colors. There'd be one, it'd disappear. There'd be another. There'd be a couple more.
They kind of like they float to each other, and it almost looks like they're playing with each other, and then they'll float away. It's weird.
That is weird. And the drones, I think that I know there's big drones, little drones, but the drones, it's like we could go buy drones, right? Everybody is all wound up on drones. Anybody ever hear of the radio-operated airplane enthusiast that's been around for decades?
Yeah.
So the drones, if that's what they are.
No. What happened? No sound, people.
Okay, we kind of lost the phone lines. I think.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. We couldn't hear anything for a second, Chuck, but now I do. Couldn't. Now I do. Is the show still going?
Yeah, no, the show is still going, but we lost the phone lines. Mrs. Sidekick is, I think, talking to Eddie there off air.
Dang.
We just lost the connection. We're almost at the end of the show, but do you want me to take a break and reconnect them or what?
Well, gosh, this is just kind of the end of the show anyway. It's kind of a bummer because we're getting in the swing of things, but I mean, we could also pick this up next week. I think maybe we could convince our friend Frank to call in.
If Frank could call in next week, we'll continue this conversation next week.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what we should do, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that now that we've got Sidewoman Kick for one thing, we've got her, so we've convinced her, and I think she can probably convince Frank to come on. And I'd love to hear both of them.
I want to hear his story. Actually,
I do, yeah, because his story goes back.
He's the one that started us looking at these things. And I've got me a special.
Well, I'm attempting to join. Well, I'm attempting to join back to the phone lines quickly if we could.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool. If they can come back on, that's good. But I think I hear something.
Yeah, you're gonna hear the normal greeting.
Oh.
Get ready for the Yocheli effect.
If you are the host, press star now. Otherwise, please wait, and you will be joined into the conference.
We'll just get joined into the conference.
Cool. You're star man, Chuck. Pressing star now.
Doing the best
Aaron
I
said
can.
you had some theories on this, so with that, disclosure now.
Have you seen any? Have you looked
No,
up any yet?
I'm up,
Unmuted.
and I have not.
There we go.
I live in kind of a rural area, and a few years ago, my wife saw something strange flying in the west that I did not see, but the way she described it, it wasn't anything normal that we would see. And she said it was there for quite a while. But that's been a few years. That's the only the closest I've come to something like that.
Aaron, you might want to fill in Side Woman Kick as to the loss of the phone lines and what happened here.
Exactly.
I'm here.
Yeah, we lost you for a little bit.
You're there, but we lost you.
Yeah, the phone lines cut out for some reason for a moment. So you two have been talking, but you haven't been on air.
My phone.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't been on air?
Yeah. Well, you
That's
were.
Weird.
Like a couple of minutes, you were gone.
Yes, exactly.
I'm kind of walking. I'm walking around in the hospital where I work, so there could be some weird interference because everything runs off its own Wi-Fi and everything here. I don't know.
This was all.
This could be something like that going on.
No, Eddie, this was all.
The orbs are. They don't like us talking about it.
No, this was all. This was all on my end. We suddenly lost the connection to the phone lines, and you guys were still talking. I could hear you.
Oh.
But we couldn't hear you on air.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Oh, wow, that's weird.
Yeah, very weird thing.
They don't want this talk going out over the air, man.
I guess not.
Yeah.
I wonder if it'll be on the. I hope it comes out on the replays when they get up.
We'll do our best, but we're almost at the end of the show.
They might have gone in and erased everything, man.
They're gonna have a hard time getting past my stuff. That nobody's ever deleted a whole show on me.
Yeah, but like Chuck is saying, we're at the end of the show anyway. We have a proposition for Side Woman Kick. What Chuck and Uncle and myself were bouncing around was we can end the show here because it's just going to end anyway due to time. But what if you and Frank, we can get you and Frank to call in both on the show next week and have a conversation to continue this. Do you think we could do that?
Oh, yeah, indeed.
Yeah, so let me just tell you about our friend Frank. He's a really good friend that lives close by, and I've gotten him to. What did he tell us first? What was this light out back, right?
Yeah, because he was seeing the orb form or something like that, and he's like, "Here, look, it's up there." Because you had been talking to him about it.
Yeah.
And then he told us to look, and we really wanted to see it. So we looked up, and then that's when we saw that drone for the first. That's when I got my first good drone video that I posted on the YouTube.
Yeah.
I got that video that night. And then we've been seeing him ever since for the whole week.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember how we initiated talking to him about it. I'll have to ask him.
Well, we could make that part of the show next week. Do you think we can convince him to come on, don't you think?
He has stories. He has like real. And just last night, he has a crazy story that I didn't get to see, but he saw.
Yeah. Well, we want to hear it.
Yeah.
We want to hear that.
So we'll probably make that next week. But at the end of the show, we've got so many people on the line, Uncle. We should go do a round of shout-outs for everybody.
Shout out everybody that's on the line right now, and shout out what you want to say.
Yeah. So we'll go in order of calls.
Jimmy. Order of calls.
Start with Jimmy.
Jimmy's
then.
first.
Yeah.
Jimmy is first.
So Jimmy.
Apologies, Chuck. I busted your chops a bit there earlier. My bad.
No worries.
And I would ask that Mrs. Sidekick and this guy talking about, aerial phenomena and beyond that, hell, I think that'd be a good show. I mean, Chuck, what do you got going on Tuesday night? I mean, why don't they do this?
Hey, look, whenever they want.
Show.
If they want to take a special night, let me know. I've only got Wednesday booked for next week and the usual Friday show so far. So, whenever they want.
Okay.
All right. So thank you, Jimmy.
I was just thinking, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone for the shows. I was glad to hear from one guy that's been missing for a while. I wish to hear from Amir, our friend Sweden, some other people we haven't heard from in a long time, just because, I worry about you knuckleheads.
There you go.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. Great to talk to you.
Thank you, Jimmy.
And let's see here. Who is next on the line? Who is next, Chuck?
You would go with Mrs. Sidekick, I guess, because she would be the next.
Yeah, Sidekick's next.
Okay. Mrs. Sidekick. Who would you like to shout out to?
Shout out to anything?
To anybody. Who do you want to? Anybody that might be listening out there. Who do you want to shout out to?
Shout out to the universe. Anybody out there? We hear you. We see you. We want to see more. I also want to shout out to all the fire victims and hope everything, works out for them and not too. It's bad, but things are just stuff. It's just stuff. There's not too many losses, so hopefully they can rebuild.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for calling, my love, and I'm excited to have you on the show next week. And Frank, we're gonna make it happen.
That's good.
Yes, he you know him. He's a showman. He would be great on the show.
He is. You just have to get him started, and then it rolls from there. So that's what we'll do.
Yeah.
He will get it moving.
He will.
He would move it for like all these people that have heard tonight, but wants to hear more. He would tell you more.
All right.
I mean, he would because he was watching for us.
Wait, what? What's going on?
Oh, hold on. I just cut her off there. There you go.
I have a little mini sidewoman kick wants to have a shout out.
Oh, shout out. That's
Shout
right.
out to all my friends in school.
Oh, shout out to them. Hello, friends.
Hello, friends.
That's a good shout out. All right, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, okay, that's next week. We'll move to Ed and get his shout out real quick too. We got Ed.
I don't really have a shout out, but I do want to remind everybody that January 21st is Squirrel Appreciation Day. And so remember that and celebrate our little friends. And my vote is in. I want to hear Frank and Sidekick Woman back again to talk about what's going on down there some more. So that's it. Love you guys.
All right. Thanks, Ed. All right. Well, I guess that's it, Uncle. And we got shout outs too. Who me? Okay. Well, I'll reiterate what my wife said. Shout out to the victims of the fire. That's terrible, and there's a lot of crazy stuff going out, and we recognize that. But just shout out to everybody who, if you feel the sense of we're all in this together and that we're going to be okay if we look out for each other, I'm getting a sense of that this year. Yeah. Shout out to you, everybody. What about you, Uncle? What do you got?
Shout out to the space people and the universe, like you were saying, and the fires.
Yes.
People that are doing an excellent job with the fire department.
Yes, I guess so. Working day and night. So